So an F1 video today. I've actually been wanting to make F1 career mode videos, but F1 2020 has really been causing me issues with crashing right before the podium celebration, and I haven't been able to figure out the issue. It actually just crashed on me in time trial the other day, which is new. It didn't used to do that. And so my whole screen just goes black and I have to hold down the power button on my computer to fix it. So until I can figure out that issue, there won't be any F1 career mode videos. So what we're here to talk about, Haas. Haas has announced that Romain Grosjean and Kevin Magnussen will not return to Haas in 2021. I, like Grosjean, expected one driver to be replaced, but not both. I was kind of hoping for a change last year, but that didn't happen. They have not, at the time of recording this, made an announcement as to who will be in the car next year. Grosjean has been with Haas since the team was started from the ground up in 2016 and got a 6th in their first race in Australia, and then followed that up with the 5th in the next race at Bahrain. Magnussen joined in 2017, replacing Esteban Gutierrez, so Magnussen and Grosjean can both be credited as the only drivers to score points for Haas. Of the 200 points for Haas, Grosjean can be credited with 104 and Magnussen with 96. Grosjean can also be credited for the team's best ever finish of 4th. This is also the team's best combined finish, as Magnussen finished 5th at the Austria Grand Prix in 2018. They can be credited with helping Haas reach their peak in 2018 of 5th in the constructor standings. Both drivers are responsible for building Haas up to the team they are today. As for Grosjean and Magnussen, the fact that this comes so late really hurts their chances of getting an F1 seat for 2021. Grosjean has mentioned a return to sports cars or possibly a Formula E drive, while Magnussen has shown interest in IndyCar. If Magnussen does go to IndyCar, this would be the second former Haas driver to do so, as Esteban Gutierrez made the move in 2017, running a partial schedule. As for a replacement, there are rumors of a driver from the Ferrari development program like Mick Schumacher, Callum Allott, or Robert Schwartzman. Gunther Steiner has said they are looking to lock up both seats for at least 2 years, which is something they haven't really done. They've pretty much signed their drivers to a 1-year contract. Allott was supposed to drive the Haas at the Nürburgring, but because of weather that didn't actually happen. Schumacher was supposed to drive an Alfa Romeo, but that also didn't happen because of weather. Schumacher is currently leading the F2 championship with 2 wins and 10 podiums. Allott is second with 3 wins and 5 podiums. Schwartzman is 5th with 3 wins and 5 podiums. Schumacher won the 2018 F3 European Championship. Schwartzman won the 2018 Toyota Racing Series and the 2019 F3 Championship. Another name that has been rumored to be connected to Haas is Nikita Mazepin. Mazepin is rumored to be joining Haas in exchange for his dad investing money into Haas and getting a share of the team. Mazepin is currently 6th in F2 with 2 wins and 3 podiums in 2020. Now, this is nothing against Mazepin, but more me being against pay drivers. I think you should get to race based off of your talent alone and not because your dad is rich. F1 is one of the greatest forms of motorsports in the world, and there shouldn't be drivers that are just passed over because another driver is rich. And to me, if they go with Mazepin over some other options, I think that is exactly what would be happening. If you have the talent, then you shouldn't have to use money as the bargaining chip. I'm also not too keen on the idea of Haas having an entire rookie lineup, as I think having a driver with experience would vastly help a young driver develop. As I mentioned, I think there's some better options than Mazepin, and I am biased towards this because the rumor is that it would be in exchange for his dad's money, and like I said, you should get opportunities based off of talent and not money. But Nico Hulkenberg and Sergio Perez are both available and have F1 experience. I think either driver offers an upgrade over Magnussen and Grosjean. Hulkenberg showed up to the Nürburgring just before qualifying to sub in for Lance Stroll in the Racing Point and qualified last, and then drove up to a solid 8th place finish. This should point to the kind of talent that Hulkenberg has. He hasn't raced much in 2020 and hasn't raced the Nürburgring since 2013. He also has more points in 2 races in 2020 than both Haas drivers combined. Yes, in a better car, but he also isn't regularly racing this year, and he's not familiar with the car. If money is the issue for Haas, Perez has plenty of sponsorship he can bring with him to help the team. Perez is currently 5th in the F1 standings right now, and that's with missing 2 races. Perez has proven to be a more than capable driver in F1. There are also rumors that Perez could go to Williams and replace George Russell. If that happens before Haas can make a decision, I think you have to look at Russell. Haas has said they're interested in young drivers. Perez is 30 and Hulkenberg is 33. George Russell is 22 and would bring youth. While he doesn't have a ton of success, he's driving for the only team that has been worse than Haas the last 2 years. I'm not ready to write off George Russell as an F1 bust. I think he has talent, but hasn't been able to reach his full potential driving for Williams. This would help keep youth in the driver lineup and give F1 experience to it to help a rookie driver. But Russell is also part of the Mercedes development program, so if Williams does let him go, Mercedes might have plans for him. Another interesting driver with little rumors to getting a Haas seat is Luis Delatraz, and I say this is interesting because he has been with Haas since the end of 2018 as a test/reserve driver. He's currently sitting 7th in the F2 championship with no wins but 4 podiums. He's been the test reserve driver for a while and has been in F2 for 4 years while steadily improving. I think there's drivers out there with more proven results, but he would also bring youth to a driver lineup at only 23, and he has been involved with the team for over 2 years and knows Haas and how they operate, so I find it interesting not to have heard much rumors about him possibly getting the seat. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter who they put in the car, because if the car is crap, the driver performance is going to be crap. Haas's struggles in 2020 are also made worse by the Ferrari's lack of pace with their power unit. Grosjean and Magnussen did a good job with what they were given, but 2018 to 2019 was a huge step backwards for the team, and the last 2 years have just created a ton of frustration for the 2 drivers, including on-track incidents. It's time to bring in someone new with different ideas and a different perspective on the car to help R&D grow and get better. Money has been an ongoing issue for Haas. Gene Haas got into F1 to increase his Haas Automation company's global market share, which he admits this has helped Haas Automation grow, but that doesn't seem to be enough. He uses Haas Automation as a sponsor on the car, as he also does in NASCAR with his Stewart Haas racing team. They have struggled to attract sponsors with the exception of the whole Rich Energy fiasco that ended horribly, but that's a whole nother video, which I just might make, so drop a comment if you'd like to see a video on that and how that whole situation unfolded. Money has always been an issue, and I thought they would leave F1 at the end of the season, despite Gene Haas insisting he was committed to F1. Haas was the last team to sign the Concord Agreement, and a big part of why they did was the budget cap. They viewed the budget cap as a way to lower the gap between the big teams and the small teams. Haas uses a close relationship with Ferrari for as many parts as they can, and they outsourced car design to Dallara. Dallara has really missed the mark on the 2019 car and the 2020 car. This creates issues for getting sponsors. Nobody wants to pay a ton of money to get their name on a car that's going to run at the back, especially in the current state of the world amid COVID, where a lot of companies are hurting for cash and there's little to no fans at the track. This creates a situation where the only opportunity to see the company on the car is on TV. And when you run in the back, you don't get on TV that much. They have admittedly been bad. They've publicly said they're not putting money into development of the 2020 car or the 2021 car. And so this creates the problem. Put yourself into a position of running a company and looking for new ways to advertise and reach a new market. You have a race team that says they're bad and aren't actively working on getting better until 2022. Would you want to put your brand with that kind of a team? As someone with a BBA in marketing, my answer would be a definite no. However, while this does create issues for attracting sponsors, don't confuse this for Gene Haas and Gunther Steiner and just saying, we've given up. What this really is a cash-strapped team that sees an opportunity in 2022 to bring in new regulations for everyone to hit the reset button and a new budget cap to put everyone on a more equal playing field. Haas is investing all the resources they can into their 2022 car because they're going for broke, and if they don't get it right, they will leave F1 in 2025 when the next Concord Agreement ends. The car isn't everything though, and they need to make the right decision now on who to put in the car to give them their best opportunity for success when 2022 rolls around. And that is why this decision is so important to the future of Haas F1. If Haas does leave F1, that would be a huge blow to F1's American market, which has never really been that good. F1 has tried and tried to get a stronger hold on the American market and struggled to do so. F1 has done a lot to help small teams like Haas succeed. But now it's up to Gene Haas and Gunther Steiner to deliver on the decisions to keep this team going. I'd like to see Schumacher or Ilott paired with Perez at Haas in 2021. I think Schumacher or Ilott both bring with them similar results and youth to a team that's looking to the future. Perez brings experience to help a young driver develop and money from sponsors, which is a major need for Haas. The advantage to Perez over someone like Mazepin is Perez brings experience to help develop a young driver and has more proven talent. Ultimately, I hope they go for talent over money. If you're trying to build the best team, you need the best drivers, and there's an option out there that could help them get money and proven talent. Mazepin might be a great F1 driver someday, or he could be a bust. I could say the same thing with Mick Schumacher too. While he's had more success, he's unproven in F1. Sergio Perez has experience and proven he's capable and brings the money and talent that Haas needs. Perez also, with his proven talent, brings some safety for Haas. If you go with two rookie drivers, you are taking a huge risk that both of your drivers might not work out. It's not a guarantee that Perez will succeed at Haas, but it's a higher probability based off of his history than two drivers with no F1 experience. So now you've heard from me, and so now I want to hear from you. Let me know what you think about Haas axing Grosjean and Magnussen, and who you think should get the Haas seats for 2022. Thanks for watching, and until next time, so long everybody.